Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. My guest today is Eydie Desser from the Garden of Eden. She's going to be making her famous 0-calorie salad dressing, as well as telling you how she reversed her high blood pressure with foods from the Garden of Eydie, garden food. Please welcome her to the show. It's nice to officially meet you, outside of a conference, you know what I mean.
Yes, it's good to see you. I'm so excited to be a part of this bundle. It's my first time.
Well, welcome to the bundle. I mean, we love having new contributors, and I thank you so much for being in it. If you want, you can either start by telling people who you are, or tell them your product in the bundle, and we'll make sure we're having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Eydie Desser. And many years ago, when I was in straight commission sales, I developed super high blood pressure. The doctor said, you're going to be on a pill for the rest of your life or you're going to have a stroke. Fast forward 20 years later, I learned about plant-based cooking. I had gone to the French Culinary Institute, gotten my grand diploma in culinary, wrote a cookbook with my mother called Just Add Butter. And a few years after that, I learned about plant-based cooking through ruby.com. I took that class and I learned about Dr. Clapper from True North Health. And I went to True North Health for him to help me with digestive issues. But I didn't realize that they had a water-only fast, Dr. Goldhammer's water-only fast, that reverses 100% of the people who come there and get on the fast and then eat salt, oil, sugar-free, reverse their high blood pressure. So I did. Mine was 178 over 115.
I was going to ask you, that's really, really high. And you seem like like you're in shape. You're a trim person. Does it run in your family? Because that is a very high blood pressure.
It's yes. And Dr. Clapper said, I love him. I really do. He says, Eydie, your problem is not from the neck down. It's from the neck up. So that plays into part of what Garden of Eydie is all about. But long story short, I went on an 8-day water fast. I stayed SOS free and it came down to 135 over 85. And Dr. Clapper said, you're getting too skinny. He doesn't like too skinny women. So he says, you've got it. It'll just keep on the plan. And a few months later, I went to my doctor in LA and Dr. Kalsa. In fact, Dr. Kalsa suggested I go see you, Chef AJ, on nutrition years before.
Oh my God, he had sent me patients that would do private one-on-one, mostly for cooking. He was great. I have I had him on the show? Because yeah, he was wonderful. I met
He
his
was. He was my
yeah.
doctor. I mean, he got me started because he says, you've got huge amounts of heavy metals in your system. And so I had to get off of fish. So that was my first entree into stopping meat, animal, because I loved fish, but I couldn't eat it because I had so much mercury. Anyway, we got rid of all that. So fast forward, after going to the doctor, I went back to Dr. Kalsa a few months later, and it was 98 over 60. No pills, just plants. And Dr. Kalsa said, you're probably going to have to get back on the pill. No one can stay off the medicine.
Wow.
Well, years later, now it's 9 years later, it's still like 98 over 60. No pills.
So that is incredible. First of all, I want to know, how did you discover you had high blood pressure? Because it is, they call it the silent killer because you don't really feel it.
Well, I did.
How did you feel?
I was driving one day after a call. I was in straight commission sales at the time. I became sales manager, and I wasn't as stressed out, but I called my doctor in Dallas and I said, Dr. Gross, I think my heart is about to explode, like all over the car. I mean, I think it's going to be terrible. He says, come in. He put me on the treadmill. He says, wow, you're just as strong as a Dallas Cowboy football player. And then he took my blood pressure. Oh, you have high blood pressure. It's genetic. I'll give you a pill. I said, how long? For like a month and then it goes away? He says, no, for the rest of your life. So it's genetic. So I did feel it. I really did feel it. And it didn't work. The pill that he put me on, one pill, I couldn't even exercise after that pill. So because I love this story because it's true. When I was a kid, they'd give you a pill for your headache or a stomach ache or something like that. And I'd say, where does the pill know where to go? Like, how does it know?
I used to think that too. Like, how does it know that this is for pain and this is for inflammation? That is funny. That I think the same way as you.
And then, so yeah, it goes to your heart, you're to lower the blood pressure, but it's going all through your body. So I could not exercise. I mean, I said my doctor, I said, I can't even run a mile right now. What's wrong? He said, oh, it's the pill. I'll, change it. So you see, when we take pills, it affects the entire body, not just that. It doesn't heal. It doesn't heal. So fast forward, I learned, Susan Benegas called me and asked me to be on the board of the Plant Nutrition Project. I know her from the radio side. And I joined, and that's why I became a board member of and I wanted to be part of the mission. When you know something to be so true at the depths of your soul, you don't want to keep it a secret. And there are no secrets in the Garden of Eydie. So I wanted to spread the word, spread the joy. So that's, I have an organic garden. My name is Eydie. I created Garden of Eydie just to help people reverse and prevent all sorts of diseases like I did. It's so incredible.
How did you hear of True North? When did you go? Was Dr. Clapper your doctor there? And how long did you fast for?
I fasted 8 days. It was in 2015. I first went because I was having digestive issues. And Dr. Clapper talked about you eat a lot of fiber and you'll be fixed. So I went there just to eat the food at True North. I saw him on Ruby.com in that course. So I met him and he put me on the plan. And then I realized I could reverse my high blood pressure. So I went back the next January. So it's been 9 years and I haven't looked back. It's been really easy for me. And I want to tell people, everyone says, how do you do it? Like, how can you eat this way? And I said, well, when you wash your brain, or instead of calling it brainwashed, I actually washed my brain off by listening to all the videos at True North. I was there for 2 weeks. I tried to watch all 100 videos. I really absorbed everything. I learned all about why no meat, no salt, no oil, no sugar, no dairy. I kept, just putting all that information into my brain. And then when I came home, I just started watching videos with Dr. Clapper, all these clappers, just reinforcing the message, rewiring the brain. And that's how it was so easy for me. I really never looked back. And now when I see lettuce or something in the grocery store, I salivate. All the healthy food makes me hungry. Isn't that funny? And then like turkey or meat or fish, I can't even stand the smell of fish now. And cheese, I can't even stand the smell of cheese. It's just really an amazing transformation.
That is something. Were you vegan or plant-based even before you discovered you had high blood pressure and went
Oh,
to?
no, standard American diet. And I went to the French Culinary Institute. And I just wanted, after my long career in radio, I just wanted to learn how to cook. And I want to show y'all this 0-calorie salad dressing because I created this. I was inspired by Dr. Michael Greger when he wrote the book, How Not to Diet. Did you guys read that? It's a really good book. It's very dense, but he gives you 20 tips, tricks to help you lose weight without really trying. I did a whole video series on the 20 on my Instagram during that year. I think it was 2020, 21, something like that. And one of his tips is there was researchers from Penn State University, and they noted that when diners were given a big salad with a no fat dressing, they would eat at least 100 fewer calories in the pasta that they were given next. So if you eat like 30 or 40 calories in your salad, because it takes even 50, you'd have to eat a whole big salad with raw vegetables and a no oil dressing to even reach 50 calories. So if you're eating 100 less, now you're negative 50, you see? So it's like free. So you get a whole salad for no calories. So that's why I created one with just vegetables. And it's really, really delicious. Should I make it now?
Absolutely. That sounds delicious.
Okay, so this is what's in it. I have orange juice from a fresh orange. I like to use Valencia because it's so juicy. Lime juice. And I have to tell you something. My husband is a carnivore living in the Garden of Eydie. And I have to separate when I cook for him, my brain, I will cook for him, but I try to make it really healthy. But I did get to infiltrate. And now every day he gets a big salad, but he used to put terrible dressings on it. I taught him just to squeeze some orange juice. That's it. And he does that. But when I make it for him, I'll squeeze orange juice and lime juice and a little low sodium tamari, the most delicious dressing. It's really good. So that's just a tip. Then I put a little tiny vinegar, 2 teaspoons of a white wine, but I'm using this walnut vinegar. Have you ever heard of this, Chef AJ? It's by Sparrow Lane.
I have heard of that company. Yes, I don't know how, but I have. And also, I'm glad you like balsamic vinegar because you get 2 free bottles from California Balsamic just for being on the show.
Oh, that's nice. Well, they are up in Northern California near you, and I found them in a grocery store here in LA. It's so nutty. And I looked up and it says for 2 tablespoons, it's 0 calories.
That's amazing. I'll have to check that out.
It's so delicious. It's so delicious. So I put a little bit of that in there. And then of course you have to have some garlic and some spices. And I use ginger, a little cayenne, and this black cumin seed. This is delicious. It's not like the other cumin that's kind of a little bit bitter. This is kind of a sweet, smoky flavor. And I just grind it up and it adds a fabulous, fabulous flavor to it. But if you can't find it, but you can online, but if you don't want to buy it, just a little sweet smoked paprika will work.
Is this I just went to their website. Is this the walnut champagne vinegar you're using?
Yes, it is. It is.
And it's really that good. I'm going to order
I'm
some.
telling you, it is transformative, like on a pear and arugula salad.
And it's not high in calories. That's amazing.
No, no. Then I put some cucumbers chopped up and some chopped up tomato. And then I have another tip for you guys I have to tell you after this. Okay, so here's how it goes. I'm just gonna blend it really well. Oh, it's not plugged in.
Now, Eydie, is that recipe in your book in the bundle?
Yeah, this is the 0 calorie in the book.
Nice. That's a cute little food process.
Okay, that's it. That's all we've got. Okay, now, before we do the salad dressing, I have to show you my trick for creating the most nutritious salad in the world. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, what I like to do is I like to create a salad bar in my refrigerator. That's what I do. Do you do that?
Not as good as you, but we do prepare our salads in advance.
Okay, so what I like to do is I get, whatever ingredient you love. I love carrots, celery, cauliflower. I have these wonderful radishes for my garden. Today I picked some kumquats, so I'm going to put that in there. And I love Brussels sprouts. This is a cabbage from my garden, and I have a fennel from my garden. So I'm kind of lucky because I have this organic garden. I can have all this, but in the grocery store, you can always find every kind of raw vegetable that you love. And then what I like to do is when I get the salad. Now, in my salad, I have so many different greens. I have wild arugula, French arugula. I have Ethiopian kale, and I have curly kale and baby kales and sorrel, which is a lemony herb from France. It's just, so I put every single red leaf lettuce. I put every single salad that I can because every leafy green gives you a different nutritional benefit. So I like to mix it all up. So the best way I like to do this, and the other thing I like to do, even if you get your greens from the grocery store, I like to make an ice water bath in a salad spinner. And I put the greens and I just rinse them in there. They rehydrate. It's so important to have your greens really fresh, and it's so crispy and it's so delicious and it gives you more hydration. So that's one of my tips. Then what I like to do is just get some of the ingredients from my salad bar. Can you imagine how much nutrition is in here? Carrots, cauliflower, celery, the bell peppers. And I just like to get a handful of each thing, however much you want. The fennel gives such a great flavor. When I was at the French Culinary Institute.
Tell me about that. Where was it? How long did you go? What was the program
Well,
like?
I was in radio. I had this huge job. I was director of group sales for 6 radio stations. And I had just moved to New York and I wasn't really loving it. And I'm like, if I took a cooking class, I might enjoy New York more. So I was looking for a cooking class, but I could only find like culinary schools. And I'm like, where are the one-on-ones like at Sur La Table? But I couldn't find any of those. So I found the French Culinary Institute, and I could have gone for 11 weeks of boot camp on the weekends. Or I could have gone for 11 months after work, 3 nights a week, and gotten a grand diploma. And I thought, go big or stay home. So, so I decided to go to the French Culinary Institute, and they they allowed me, they accepted me, and it took 8 months because I decided to quit my job and go full time. So I went from Monday through Friday and cut it down to 8 months. But it was fascinating. And Alice Waters was one of my chefs, Jacques Pepin.
You're
Alice Waters
kidding.
actually,
That's something.
she taught us how to make a salad. Isn't that funny? And she doesn't like to chop it really well because it kind of bruises and releases some of the nutrition. She likes to tear it. So what I like to do is gently slice and then tear. And my mother used to do that. I don't know how she knew how to do this stuff, but she did. Okay, so I have all of this in here. This is a lot. And what I like to do is just chop it. Okay.
When you're ready, I've got a question from a live viewer. Hi, Arthur. How do you buy all those different greens without them going bad before you finish it?
Well, I have an organic garden, but you're right. So, they have those boxes that they wash them 3 times. I would suggest, Arthur, eat more salad. When you make it smaller, you can eat more. It takes me a good 45 minutes to eat a big salad. So does that answer your question? There really isn't a good way. Sometimes I'll wash them if they're not fresh. I'll wash them and then I'll spin them dry. I'll put them on a big, I like a thick towel, a long thick towel, and I let it dry on the counter. When it's nice and dry, I just roll it up in that towel and put it in a large plastic bag and zip top. And that will hold for 3 or 4 or 5 days. It will. Otherwise, try to eat more faster.
Nice.
Okay. So here I have, look how beautiful this is. And so all the ingredients are chopped together. And when you put them on your salad, every single bite has a lot of nutrition. And when you mix all the vegetables together, it's so delicious. It's really, really good. And here's another trick I love to do. I love raw asparagus. They're nutty. When you cook them, they're delicious too. I mean, I love asparagus, but I love to slice them and use them as croutons. And they have that crunch and they have that really wonderful taste sensation. It's very nutty. It just adds a lot of wonderful flavor to your salad. Okay, so just one more thing I want to show you.
And then I got to ask you some questions when you
I'm ready.
Well, I mean, how do you manage being married to somebody that doesn't eat like you? That seems to be a real struggle for a lot of people.
Well, first of all, I didn't get married till I was 45. I just couldn't marry the wrong person. And when I met my Ed, he was like, he's it. He's the guy. He's my man. I had this whole long list of what I wanted in a man. And when I started turning into my 40s and I was in San Francisco, I decided, you know what? All I really want is a man with a big heart, because if he has a big heart, he'll have love and compassion for me and for others, and a big brain to navigate this crazy world. And that's exactly what I got. And I love him so much. And I am concerned about his health. But what's amazing about Ed, so this is part of the Garden of Eydie. I have 3 pillars in the Garden of Eydie. It's not just what seeds are you planting in your body garden for health, but it's also in your heart garden for love and compassion for yourself and others, and your mind garden for joy and success in all areas of life. I went to a brain training camp. I've done meditation retreats with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I've learned how to rewire the brain, put lots of love in the heart. And so it's all about attitude, gratitude, and healthy, delicious food. Then you have your whole life. Your whole life will be happy and you'll just be filled with joy. But with the food, it really does start with the food, because if you don't feel good, we don't even realize how bad we feel until we feel good. We go along, but when you feel good on the inside, you can do good on the outside. Now with Ed, he's like a Buddha. I mean, he's not religious or anything like that, but he walks 6 miles a day, every day. He connects with a ton of people. He has lots of friends, and he does an hour-and-a-half massage 4 times a week. So this guy, stress level is very low. And I talked to his doctor, and he says he's an outlier. He's really, really healthy. Unfortunately, with my family, My father had congestive heart failure. Both my brothers are on high blood pressure medicine. I was. And so, we can turn on our genes or we can turn off our genes. And I think stress plays a big role. Like Dean Ornish talks about all the pillars too. We have to have friendship. We have to have love, all the exercise and everything. And Ed does a lot right. So I think he's good.
So he has no health problems. That's great.
No, he doesn't. And he is really,
But does he just eat animal products or does he eat junk food too? And how hard is it you to have those foods around and cook them?
oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. You know what? I make his food. First of all, I put a lot of love in it, but I make it really clean. I'm not frying anything. I put tons of vegetables and everything for him. And every day he has that huge salad with a no fat dressing instead of the terrible dressings. And, I don't want to tell anybody else how to live. But everybody has their own journey, right? We all have our own journey. And this is my journey. My friends gave me so much trouble when I went this way. And they just thought, why is she doing this? Why is she? And now, Eydie, that your blood pressure is so low, why can't, you can go back to eating whatever you want. And I said, does that make sense? Like, does that make sense?
That's like saying, well, now that you lost all this weight on Ozempic, let's just like stop taking it, eat what we want.
I mean, like, what's going on here, people?
What was it? Because in your diet, or what did they tell you, True North, like that was the most important thing that was allowing you to reverse your high blood pressure? Was it really just the elimination of the salt? Was that one of the main factors?
I think all of it, but one thing that had gone for my digestion, I went back 6 months later or 5 months later for my blood pressure. And Dr. Clapper said, are you all plant-based and everything you've been doing? I said, I have a little cheese. Like at the grocery store, they'll have taste. I have a little cheese, little crackers. Then he says, Eydie, do you know why you shouldn't have dairy? So he tells me the whole story about the baby calf is fed his mama's milk to become 60 pounds to 600 pounds in 6 months. And besides that, all that estrogen. And ladies out there, have you had any women issues, female issues? Like I had fibroids, I had endometriosis, I had just a lot of things going on that were uncomfortable being a woman. And I don't think you need to have that. And if you don't have dairy, you don't have that surge of estrogen coming into your system. And too much estrogen is what causes all these issues. So when he told me that, it was so easy for me to, education sells. It really does. When you learn why, then, and when you have your own why, it's really easy. It's really easy.
That's great. So there was like, did you like the food right away? I mean, did you fast and then learn to I'm curious, like, did you switch the diet and then fast and then you like the food better? What was the order of how they did things?
Dr. Goldhammer said you have to eat, very clean before you go for the fast. So, but I also started there, I think, a couple days before, but I took out the animal and, I just ate salads and fruit and whatever. And, but what was the question?
Yeah. So did the food taste bad to you at first? And if it did taste bad to you, is it because you went to French cooking school and it wasn't vegan and it wasn't rich, or was it the salt? Because what I hear from people is the salt is the hardest. It's not the oil. It's not even the sugar.
Well, for me, I took to it like a duck to water. I really did. It was easy for me. I thought it was delicious. When I cook for other people and I'm tasting, then I know they're going to think it needs more salt. So what I do is I add more citrus and more herbs and more flavor. And people a lot of time don't notice and they say, I don't even need the extra salt. In fact, my husband, Ed, things are too salty for him now. When he goes out to eat, he says it's too salty. So it's really transformative. It really is. When you change your taste buds, like I said, I crave this. Like, I can't wait to eat this. I mean, it's like, I'm going to pour the salad dressing. By the way, this is like over a cup and you can have the whole thing if you want. You can just have the whole thing because there's hardly any calories in this thing. So this is a really fun way to eat. I don't know. I just think it's life enhancing when you feel good and you eat healthy. What do you think, Chef AJ?
Well, I think until you don't have health, you don't realize that it is your greatest wealth. And food does make a difference. And, attitude is great and stress is great. And some people can eat less good, I suppose, but it does make a difference. It really does. And until people can experience it long enough, I don't think they believe us. Do you do anything in the space? Like, do you coach? Do you teach?
Oh, yeah. So I do Instagram. I have some YouTube videos, and my whole goal is really just to spread the word. It's a passion project, a philanthropic project for me, working with the Plantrition Project and Plant-Based Nutrition Healthcare Conference. And I'm actually sponsoring the first ever international culinary center in the Galilee in Israel. And they're going to have, I've told them I want to sponsor the organic vegetable garden that they're going to have. It's going to be the most incredible culinary school. Like, I want to go to it, but it's going to be called Garden of Eydie, and people aren't going to know who I am, but I just want to coach people and help people eat healthier. And going to the French Culinary Institute and and getting a grand diploma, what that did for me is it just fueled my passion for cooking. And so I do all different types of cooking, from modernist cuisine to Instapot to smoking things. But what I do, I just think it's so much more fun to cook plant-based, because there's 1,000 varieties of everything. There's over 300 varieties of potatoes. There are so many varieties of lettuces like you see in my garden. It's so much fun. It's so colorful. And so, yeah, so I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, TikTok a little bit. I try to be a little silly on that, and Facebook and YouTube, and just trying to spread the word.
Yeah, you're very just your attitude. You're lovely, and I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you, because I actually just searched. You actually emailed me in 2015 to come to my cooking class in Sherman Oaks, and I don't know how in all those years we never connected.
Well, we probably did, but billions of people later.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could possibly remember everybody.
Oh, question: do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. Garden of Eydie. It's Eydie. I don't know if you can see this, but it's a tough spelling, but it's Eydie.
Yeah. And so what you're going to do is like I said, you'll fix your show notes so that people can get those links and clickable, because right now all they have is your bundle link, not leak, if you want to buy it from Eydie. And yes, Eric, the recipe for her dressing is in the bundle. And I looked at her book. You had another wonderful recipe. It was like a roasted eggplant potato dish.
Oh yeah, I have that. Yes, I have that. And I love this sweet potato in a tomato, lime, and cardamom sauce. It's so delicious. And there's I have a curry noodle sauce. And I've loved the bundle because there's so many fabulous chefs out there, people that are cooking. And I'm learning so much, Chef AJ, from you and from Lissa with Raw Food Romance. I made her delicious Zen Blossom with the peanut sauce. It was so good. And what a great way to eat sushi. It's like perfect. And everybody has so many beautiful ideas. I made Debbie Adler's shiitake bolognese. I made Kathy Fisher's. I made her lemon bread, zucchini bread, and it's just been so much fun to learn from others.
Wait, who has the zucchini bread? Is that a Kathy Fisher recipe?
Kathy Fisher, yes, yes.
Yeah.
She taught me. She was one of the first people besides you that were cooking plant-based SOS free, and that's what mine is. Mine's plant-based and SOS free. 99% of my recipes.
Nice. Randy, hi Randy. She wants to know, does your husband have any health issues?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's good. I think he just works out so much, and he works on big deals and everything. He's just like this. He's just like, don't worry. I say, Ed, he says, don't worry. You don't even want to hear what I have to ask.
You didn't meet him, you said, till you were like 45. How did you manifest that?
Oh my goodness. It was incredible. I had moved from Dallas to San Francisco for this big promotion at CBS Radio. And a friend of mine from Dallas, 11 months later, called me out of the clear blue. And she says, Eydie, I've met your husband. His name is Ed. He's Jewish, and he has something to do with basketballs. And I said, okay. And so Ed called me and I gave good phone for about 3 weeks. And then he decided to come out, and he had business in LA, and then he came out to meet me. And I liked him. I really liked him. But I said to my friend Ann, I said, I like Ed, but why do you think he's my husband? She said, Eydie, you're so picky. I'm telling you, this is the guy. Well, fast forward, as life would have it, the sheriff would have it, my company moved me to New York for this big promotion. And Ed and I had had a couple of dates, and he said, I'll help you find an apartment. And then we fell in love.
I mean, it's amazing he was available, huh?
Oh, well, sadly, his first wife had passed away. And so they hadn't had children. And my mom, she was so smart. She said at this point, like late 30s, early 40s, she said, just have fun every week. Find something fun to do, enjoy life. And she said, and the best man to marry is someone who is a widower, who was happily married, not unhappily married. And I didn't look for that, but that's what showed up on my doorstep.
Well, good for you. What did you do in radio, Eydie?
First, I was in sales, and that's why I got super high blood pressure. And I was an overachiever. I did do really well, but then I became a sales manager, and that was really a sweet spot for me. I love that. And then I went to culinary school, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I didn't really want to be a chef in a restaurant because they yell at you. And I was too old to be yelled at and be pushed around, so I didn't want to do that, but it just fueled my passion for cooking. And then when I found plant-based eating, that's what really elevated my life. And that's why I started Garden of Eydie, and it's just been so much fun for me.
Well, you're just in your energy and your enthusiasm is contagious. They should have you present at Plantrition.
By the way, we have almost the same birthday. I'm March 21st.
Day before me. I'll write it down. How cool.
Exactly. So that's the thing. We're kind of similar in that enthusiasm department.
Nice. I love your apron. I love your backsplash, and I love you. I'm so sorry we didn't get to meet sooner.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad to be on, and there's lots of cooking in the Garden of Eydie. And so please tune in and look at everybody's bundle. It really is a special.
What do you like other than your contribution? What do you like in the bundle?
Well, like I said, I've made like 7 or 8 recipes, and I've videotaped them. And just everybody, there's so many brilliant people. Lisa Rice around the world, you and Kathy Hester. I mean, Kathy Hester, of course, but Kathy Fisher and Debbie Heller. And I keep finding every single day, I keep finding someone else to delve into. And it's just soup stews and that guy. And it just goes on and on. I mean, I think it's going to take me years to get through this and to learn from everybody else. It's just.
Do you have a dehydrator?
I do.
You've got to make Lissa's wraps, because
I
then
know.
you take your salad and roll it up in the wrap.
I have every piece of equipment you could possibly imagine. And so I have a stovetop smoker. Now, smoking is not that healthy, but just a light smoke. And it transforms things. So I smoke beans and make bean burgers out of them. I can smoke tomatoes and make a smoked tomato thyme.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Soup, just the lightest bit of smoke. I make a smoked white bean hummus. I mean, there's a lot of things. So open your mind and do everything. Oh, I got to tell you about this carrot soup. I pressure cooked carrots, and it was from the Modernist Cuisine cookbook. And they add a stick of butter with carrots, and you pressure cook it until it's all soft, and then you add carrot juice and you blend all that, and it is so rich. So I thought, what if I just took out the butter? There's no difference. I mean, it's even easier to eat because it's not so rich. Pressure cooked carrots with a little baking soda and carrot juice, and it is unbelievable. Caramelized carrot soup. See, there's so many options out there. It's just exciting.
I bet I can name one piece of equipment you don't have.
Okay.
The Paco Jet.
No, I don't. And you know what? I don't have an air fryer. Those two things.
Oh, I can't live without my air fryer. Well, Eydie, it was such a delight to meet you.
Well, so nice to meet you. And thank you for having me on, and happy bundling. I know it's going to be a great success.
Thank you so much. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. We're halfway done, 3 out of the 6 shows today. I'm going to take a break for lunch and I'm actually going to take a shower because I haven't been able to shower much during bundle week. And at 1 o'clock, we have another wonderful contributor. She's new to me. I'll be meeting her today for the first time. Her name is Diana Rose Solomon, and I think she's going to be making.
I just did a live with her too. Her food's great too.
I think she's making cauliflower curry, so I can't wait to meet her. Take care, everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
Bye-bye.